Hello there everybody, this is Krista and welcome back to Crochet Witch Tarot. And we've got a month of November favorites. I don't call it favorites, what is it that I call it? Excitements! November excitements. This was a very jam-packed month. Many things happened, many fun things and decks came in too. So I think we just need to get right into it. For starters, right at the beginning of the month, we're starting with memories, if I didn't make that clear. So, favorite memories, exciting memories. Right at the beginning of the month, Paul and I actually got engaged. I don't know what else to say about that. Hooray! Woohoo! Yeah. So that was very exciting. That was like the first weekend of this month. So it was very cool, very surprising. We had a whole amazing weekend of it, filled with family and friends. It was very lovely. So, next memory, I think it was the very next weekend after that, I went on a trip to Salem with my friend Andy, which was so cool, so much fun. I met Andy through the tarot realm, and so we've never met in person before, but it feels like we hang out every single day. But it was so much fun to get to go on this trip together and get to play with our decks together in person. It was really a lot of fun. I had never been to Salem before, even though it's only about maybe an hour and a half from me, which I didn't realize. So we saw just so many cool things. We did a really cool walking tour. I did a whole video on this. I really don't need to linger on this too long, but yeah, it was just so much fun. We both brought so many decks and just laid them all out in the hotel room and just got to play. It was really exciting. Last exciting memory of the month is that my deck, the Cottage Witch Oracle, went out to those who pre-ordered it. Like, I got the decks in and mailed everything out within the month of November. And now they're with you all and I get to see you using them, which is so surreal and unbelievable. Every time it pops up, I don't know if that feeling's ever gonna go away, where I'm scrolling or watching a video and all of a sudden it comes up and I'm like, oh, I know that. It's just really cool. I do have more copies to sell. I currently have them up in my Etsy shop, so be sure to check that out if you're interested. So, I think we can go into the random excitements now. I think that was my last exciting memory. So, my first favorite random item, as we have all met, it's Gerald. My little mushroom guy. This was such an amazing surprise gift from Sarah at Why am I saying that so weird? Crochetatang? I think is how you say it. There it is. That's her Instagram. And I believe on YouTube she is Tangy Tarot? I think I connected those puzzle pieces together, but I'm very sorry if that is just not right. But Sarah, Crochetatang on Instagram, sent me this as a surprise, and he goes everywhere with me now. His name's Gerald, and I love him so much, and that was just the coolest surprise. On the toy doll category, I have someone for you all to meet. So I'm on this bandwagon now. She came in the month of November. I have seen this is a Blythe doll. I have seen these all over the place. There are a couple tarot tubers who also collect dolls and collect Blythe dolls, and I have watched all of those videos, and I never would have thought I would be a doll person, but something about these specific ones, when I saw them, I was like, why do I kind of want one? why do I want one? And so I just was looking at them for so long, admiring other people's, watching so many videos, and she popped up on eBay. She actually came, this was a factory doll, it seems to be called, I don't really know. I am new to this. So she didn't come with any, like, clothes and such. But her name is Laurel, and we love her. I'm going to start crocheting clothes, and I cannot wait. This is a little clothing set that I just got on Amazon, which I think is so cute. She's still shoeless, so don't look at her feet. But I'm so excited! Oh my gosh, I think she's just the cutest, and this is unlocking something I didn't know was there with inner child work or something. I don't know. She is making me so happy. So that is a favorite. Paul also made a little doll stand for her. He has a 3D printer, and he loves to design and 3D print things. So he made her a doll stand, and it is magnificent. Look, he made it so that it has her name on it. I mean, is that not the coolest? It's her own little pedestal. Oh, I just love it. So, those are favorites for sure. And, no, not last but least. No, we've got 2 more things to show. Next, I have this cute mushroom platter that my friend Matt gave me as a surprise. Isn't that just the cutest thing? So it is now on one of my new altars, actually. I had just set it up when he came over this weekend and surprised me with this, and it just instantly felt like it needed to be on there, and so I love this. So thank you so much to Matt. That is the cutest. And now, last but not least, I am into candle making now as well. We are just all over the place recently. Our interests are, we are expanding our horizons, as people might say. But as a part of a Black Friday deal, I got a little wax melter. So it's actually, I think, meant for melting wax, like if you go somewhere to get your eyebrows waxed or things of that sort. It's the like little cauldrons they have. I only connected the pieces when I took it out of the box and it said that. It talked about like getting it to the perfect temperature for putting it on skin, and I was like, oh, well that wasn't my plan. Anyway, it looks like a little crock pot almost. I could have brought it over, I didn't. But it just melts the wax. So that way I don't have to do the whole process of, if you've ever made candles before, anyway, the typical process is you have this little pitcher with the wax and you keep it in boiling water. Yeah, and you have to pay attention to it very carefully, and I'm not good at that. So this little thing, you just put the wax in, you turn it on, and it melts it, and you're done. I'm sure there is science to why that might not be the best method. I don't know, maybe, I think it's fine. I don't know that much about candles, and I'm not looking for it to be super amazing, so anyway. So I'm making candles for me. Long story I made that into. So I made my first one, and here she is, and I painted a little crone figure on it for winter. She's got snowflakes on it. So this is a beeswax candle. I really love beeswax candles because they do purify the air when you burn them, and so I put some herbs in there. So it actually smells kind of nice. I'm excited about this venture. I don't know. I've kind of been wanting to do it for a while because candles are a really important part of my practice and just ambiance setting. So I burn a lot of candles. So I thought it could even just be, I thought it would be fun, 1, but 2, also a little money saving, perhaps, if I could make my own instead of continually buying candles. So, and then I could keep reusing jars. It's gonna be a good time. It really will. I think that is my last random favorite. I think we can get into the decks now. What do we think? I think we should. All right. Let's go over my favorite decks from the month of November, and I think we are starting with the favorite of all favorites. Not to rank them, but I mean, I can't stop using this deck. I think it is just so fantastic. It is the Walking Meditation Tarot by Danielle Norman. I think that's how you pronounce her first name. I backed this on Kickstarter and it came in the beginning of October. I love the way it smells. It's that matte cardstock and something about the smell of that. Oh, I don't know. And it's got this beautiful blue edging, but it is a photography deck that has been edited to make it look like it was painted, basically, with symbols put over it for the tarot cards. And something about the energy of this deck and just, I don't know, the way it reads, I am so obsessed with it. Like, it's not part of my December decks, but I keep a pile of decks outside of my tarot crib here, of decks that I kind of want to be getting to know without necessarily using them for my daily pulls. And she's staying out. I just can't fully put her away. I can't get over it. It's so good. It's so good. This creator has made 2 other tarots, I believe. The Odin's Playbook, I can't remember the name of the other, which looks really cool as well, but this one. I feel like this is what I wanted the Spacious Tarot to be, which is another really beautiful deck. I have Andy's copy right now to just try out, and it is really beautiful. But I think I like how this is a bit more photorealistic. This one just seems to work better, but they have kind of a similar feel. So, that is the Walking Meditation Tarot. I love it. I think it's amazing. That's that on that. Another deck that came in this month that I have just been blown away by is the Death Doula Oracle. It's just such an interesting concept. It takes the concepts one would learn if becoming a death doula or practicing as a death doula and turns it into an oracle. And these cards just, they are spot on. They hit home every single time. It's one of those oracles where I can pull one card and like the message is right there. I don't need it to pull anything else with it. I do love pairing this one though with the Somnia Tarot. They work so beautifully together. So sometimes I will use this oracle and then create like a follow-up question with the message and pull from the Somnia Tarot, but a lot of times I find I go to do that and I read the message from the Death Doula and I'm like, no, there's no follow-up question. That was loud and clear. So it's a really, really unique deck. I've been loving it this month. This was totally an Andy influence. She had a copy that she brought to our Salem trip and I ordered it that weekend. So speaking of Andy, let's just go into another influence, and that is the Tarot de St. Croix. Now this is actually Andy's copy. We swapped decks after our trip temporarily so that we could keep playing with decks that we liked of each other's. She really enjoyed the, oh gosh, now the name is going to entirely escape me. It's an animal tarot. Darn it. Oh, it was an animal tarot and she really was enjoying it. But to me, it's a very spring-summer deck, so I knew I wasn't gonna like be using it anytime soon. So she took that one home and I took home the Tarot de St. Croix. And there is something about this deck, something about the way it reads that feels really spiritual, connected to spirit. I don't know. That's the only way I have to explain it. It just feels like it really instantly taps into that energy for me. Specifically, tapping into almost kind of like a goddess, dark goddess energy. And I really love this. I was so excited to get to keep playing with this one because I did back there was another print run up on Kickstarter. I do think it actually just ended today. So I have my own copy coming. But I'm so happy that I got to keep playing with it while I waited. So good. And actually, the Oracle that I got Salem Weekend that I since then have loved pairing with it is the Kali Oracle. This is the Pocket Edition, which I really enjoy. I love how we get the messages right on the back. But it's a beautiful deck. I don't specifically work with Kali per se, but I do work with the Dark Goddess, Dark Mother energy, especially right now. That is something that I've been getting into over the past month for sure. And I mean, Kali is definitely one of those figures to me. So this deck really taps into that energy. Even if, you know, her herself is not a specific goddess I work with, I tend to just like to work with the energy, so it works perfectly in that way. And it just speaks to the Tarot de St. Croix so well. I've gotten amazing readings from these two paired together. And I just love this Pocket Oracle. I've actually been thinking of picking up the Mother Mary Pocket Edition as well from Alana Fairchild, because Mary is also someone that I work with. So I think it'd be cool to have that Pocket Oracle, because I don't actually have a Mary deck, although I work with her. I tend to use actually the Death Doula Oracle for that. For whatever reason. That just seems to work. Alright. I think we've got one more from my favorites. Oh, no, two more. And that is the Song of the Grandmothers. Now, this has been a favorite for a while because I was so lucky to receive a prototype of this deck from Kara, but having the full completed version this month has been so cool. I edged mine in this turquoise, but this deck is just, it's amazing. It covers so many categories that are important to me with animals, herbs, landscapes. It's really amazing. Trees. I just love this Oracle. Her and Mari did, I mean, an amazing job. The messages I get from this deck are unlike any other. It really just has such a unique energy to it that I just don't feel any other deck covers as well as this does. I can't recommend this one enough. It's so good. And so pretty. And look at the backs. Oh, I love the color. So that is the Song of the Grandmothers. And what I have liked pairing with it, no, the book is at the bottom, okay, is the Dark Days Tarot, which I wasn't sure how I was going to feel about this one. But since it's a black and white deck, I don't tend to usually be interested in monochromatic decks like this. But why are there so many cards facing the wrong way? What happened here? What are we doing? What did I do? Anyway. So I actually got this deck in a similar time to that version of the Song of the Grandmothers. And so I paired them together, and this paired with the bright colors of the Song of the Grandmothers just totally made, see, why are these backwards? Well, these are the backs, if you were curious. Oh my goodness. Okay. Anyway, seeing it with the kind of intense bright colors of Song of the Grandmothers totally made me love this deck. And so I've really been, I really also enjoy this deck on its own. I think the guidebook is fantastic. I really like how it leans a bit into that shadow work realm. I've gotten really good readings from this alongside the Song of the Grandmothers. I just think they pair so well together. And it definitely has opened me up to monochromatic decks. I never thought about, like, since I almost always pull tarot alongside oracle, that if I used a colorful oracle, it might not really seem so monochromatic. I don't know. I think also I just enjoy this art style. Since it's a bit flatter almost with the black and white, I think that also just works for me. So, really been liking that one as well, and I think that is my last favorite deck from November. So, before we go, let's talk about what I'm looking forward to working with in December. And first things first is the Insecta Obscura Tarot. I think this deck is just the coolest. Another square deck, which I've been really enjoying. I didn't think I would. I just think this deck is so unique. I never thought I would be interested in having a bug deck, but I love, the creator is Faina Laura, and I am such a fangirl, it turns out, of her artwork. I just loved the look of it. So I really wanted to give it a try, and I'm so glad I did, because these bugs are so interesting, and Faina does not disappoint when explaining why she picked certain insects for certain cards. She is definitely sure to explain that in the little guidebook we get, which I'm so happy about, because that could have totally changed how this deck worked for me. But I've really been enjoying this one, and can't wait to keep getting to know this one more in December. So now that we are on the Faina Laura train, let's just get the other one in there, and that is the Yuletide Tales Lenormand. This deck is so much fun. Not only is it just beautiful, I really love the coloring of this deck. The rest of her decks tend to lean on the darker side, but this one we have this light, it makes me think of sugar cookies. That's what I think of with this deck. It is so much fun, and each image pulls on a different piece of winter Yule-related folklore. So we have these little guide cards, and we get the name and a little bit about the story of these characters. So it's so much fun to use this as a Lenormand, but then afterwards I can go through and see, which one really caught my eye? What do I want to look into the story of? I don't know. I just think it's so beautiful and just so much fun. I love folklore, folk tales. It has always really interested me, so now I feel like I'm getting to learn more about that while using this deck. And I did actually order, she does have an illustrated book of Yule Christmas folktales that she collected, I think based on these cards, so I do have that coming in the mail, and I'm very excited about it. Alrighty. Next, we've got the Yokai Yochi Tarot. I don't know if I'm saying that right. I am so excited about this. I didn't forget I pre-ordered this, but it was one of those things where I knew I was going to, and I think it was back in August, but I don't know if we didn't really hear much between the pre-order and then just kind of getting the deck. So it just wasn't in my brain. So it was really kind of a nice surprise this month. And this is another one, another folklore deck, but focusing on Japanese folktales. This deck is so much fun. I love the art style. Again, I love how on each card we get a different piece of folklore, which is, we get a tidbit in the guidebook, and I've been having so much fun looking more into the stories behind each of these cards. And that's what I want to be doing in December. This time of year, I want to be immersed in folklore, folktales, storybook feelings. So I'm really excited to use this one in December. I just think it is so much fun and just so beautiful also. I love the backs of these cards. So pretty. And it also has that matte cardstock smell. I don't know what it is, but it is lovely. Alrighty. next deck I am very excited about is one that was so amazingly sent to me by my friend Allie here on YouTube as Totero. It is the Mercury Salt Sulfur Oracle. She thought I would like to try it. I was so excited because I've never really looked into this oracle because I just figured there was not really any hope of me ever acquiring it. This is unfortunately pretty out of print, but the creator is doing a reprint. I need to adjust how I am sitting. Is doing a reprint of the tarot, which is the Solera Occulto. And I do think that that reprint is going to have a few extra oracle cards from this deck. And, oh, anyway. So I've only gotten to play with this one a little bit, but I am loving it so much. I'm really excited to pair it with the Crimson Asteria, which is also made by the same creator. I don't know, it's just kind of like, it's witchy in this really fun way, and something about it feels very folkloric to me, even though it is not necessarily that at all. Just the art style makes me think of that, and so I think it's really gonna fit into my December feels very well, and I am so excited to be getting to try this one. Alright, we've got two more. The next is the Intuitive Night Goddess Tarot, which I have seen so much about and seen so many people kind of say that they like held off on getting it, and then when they finally did, like they totally were in love with it and wish they'd gotten it sooner kind of thing. Yet I did the same thing where I saw so much of this and something, I don't know, I just was like, I feel like I'm not sure. But since I've been working with that Dark Goddess energy lately, I really was curious to give this one a try, and I'm so glad I did, because I'm having the same exact reaction where it's like, oh my gosh, I wish I got this sooner, because there is something so special about this deck, and I've only gotten to use it a little bit. I'm really, really excited to explore this one more in December. I love that these images all seem like so goddess-like, but these characters are not given the names of specific goddesses. So it's really awesome to use this for just a general goddess energy. It's very translatable to any kind of goddess work I feel like you want to be doing, since it's not geared towards a specific goddess. If you're hearing anything in the background, it is pouring rain outside, so that's what's going on. But yeah, and this deck is also just beautiful. I'm so excited about this. So that is the Intuitive Night Goddess Tarot. And last but not least, we have a Dawn Michelle inspired purchase here. It is the Disney Villains Tarot deck. I feel like I have seen this in so many different Barnes & Nobles, so many different stores, and I always thought it was so cute, but I had never seen any of the cards. I wasn't sure what the minors were going to be like, because Insight Editions is historically very Pip-like. But these are awesome. I saw more of it through Dawn Michelle, who has been loving playing with this deck in her videos. So she showed it on there, and after watching, I don't know what video it was, but she talked about playing with this deck while playing Dreamlight Valley, which has been my other obsession, and I needed to give it a go, and I'm so excited about it. It literally came in yesterday, so I've not gotten to play around with it much, but it's so much fun. It's so much fun. I can't wait. But that is the last deck I have to show. I hope you all had a lovely November. Tell me about any of your favorites in the comments. I would love to know what decks you were working with, or if you just did anything fun, what you're looking forward to working with in December. And I will see you all again very soon.